The album is called Beware Believers. What do you feel you put the most faith in your life? What do you have the most belief in, so to speak?
Definitely not this band. Most faith in Larry David for me.
Christ.
Yeah, he's going to keep on going.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Steve?
It's really quite a tough question. I'm an
Quick, funny answer. That's what we want this interview.
my only faith is in that Coventry City will always let me down.
Perfect.
I'm always going to lose my voice. Got full faith in that.
What do I have faith in? Nobody. Myself.
Absolutely.
I have faith in myself.
There you go.
There you go. Inspirational.
A lot of this album or the themes that you were writing from came around like summer 2019, right? A lot of it was starting to take shape.
Yes, towards the end.
Yeah.
Given what's happened the last 3 years almost since then, how similar do you feel you are as people compared to back then? How much have you changed, do you think?
Not one iota.
What, you think you've not changed at all in that time?
No.
I'm just a bit more
Still a
tired.
prick.
Yeah,
Well, you are still a prick, that's for
just a
sure.
little bit older, a little bit more tired.
Just sleepier.
I've changed loads, I think. My whole situation's changed though, because I had a lockdown baby. And what else? I think I'm just a little bit more mature and less of an asshole.
Absolutely not. More of an asshole.
Disagree strongly.
Less of a dickhead.
More.
I'm more of an asshole to these guys because they deserve it.
Right, there you go.
I think you're just
Because they haven't
sleepy.
changed.
Sorry, are you honestly happy with that answer? Are you going to leave that in?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Why does that not fit your brief? Fit your interview brief?
All right.
Slowly Separate, first single that came out, looks at the idea of, when you were living, working 9 till 5 and, you're kind of paying your rent every month and there's not much left and you're not enjoying your job and everything's kind of getting down on you. When you feel like you first started to escape that? When you first started to move away from that in your life?
Oh, no.
No, we're still fully in that.
We're still
You should have seen me and
fully-
Gentleman puked in the van yesterday because we were trying to do emails on our laps so we didn't have to take holiday days.
We're still all working full time whilst trying to do this as well.
Yeah.
But
We've been
one day
pretty
we'll
lucky
find
though
out.
that we've got jobs that enable us to go away and gig whilst being able to actually keep our jobs. Because it's not financially viable yet, for sure. But someday maybe.
Yeah, one day we'll hopefully feels what it likes to not do that anymore.
You've got a tattoo shop now as well, don't you?
Yes.
I remember we were talking about that last time we did the podcast.
Yes.
Which is something
Did you
that...
mention it? You rarely mention it.
So I'm just gonna open this up so get a little zoom in on that.
Yes, surprise.
You did a wee celebration now, didn't you, on the day of the album?
Yeah.
What was sort of entailed in that? What was the celebration?
Yeah, everyone could come get tattoos from the gatefold of the vinyl. Elliot, who does all the artwork, Elliot Lane, he tattooed about 6-7 people. Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun. And then we drank lots of White Claw and ate lots of pizza. So it was really good.
Is that all the kind of occult imagery and that sort of stuff that comes out surrounding it?
All Elliot, all Elliot Lane. He's a artistic director, you'd say.
Can you ever write based on images?
Sorry, what was that?
Can you ever write based on images? Like the stuff that he comes up with, can that inspire you, given how vivid the sort of occult side to that is?
No, it always comes afterwards.
No, he always writes, he always draws and makes art to the music. So it's normally.
Yeah,
it's
he
the
does
other-
it the other way around.
Yeah, I guess it's the other way around.
I mean, he takes so long to get us stuff at times that it's like we'd be waiting a long time.
He's a busy man.
Yeah.
I guess with that darker imagery, it sort of ties into the fact that you have a song on this album too about H.H. Holmes. But you contrast that with, was that a faith healer? Is there sort of other side to that song?
Yeah.
did those begin as two separate ideas and then you merged them together, or what was the sort of motivation there to contrast those two things with each other?
Yeah, no. So two separate ideas that when I was writing the lyrics to that whole song, just kind of combined and picked and chose,
bro.
chose.
A word,
Cherry
please, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, cherry picked. There you go. Cherry picked the lyrics I wanted to kind of fit one song, and then it came out like that. So yeah.
Poet laureate over it.
When you're writing your song from one of those like sort of research holes that you go into, do you write a lot more than you need and then kind of whittle it to add?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just keep write, and then go back, edit, cherry pick. Yeah.
Choose
Choose
which ones
the
I
best
can.
ones.
Is that the same instrumentation wise for the rest of you guys? Is that where you write more than you need and then sort of pick the best ideas and start to shape it, or how does that
Yeah,
sound?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big load of trial and error, really. Of
Yeah.
us all in a room, trying to, yeah.
Yeah, and then going back and saying, like, after sitting with it for a while and then thinking, like, maybe this bit doesn't work, we should
Or
have,
maybe
have
this-
another look at that section.
There'll definitely be more ideas brought to the table, and then everyone kind of like has a say on like what they like, what they don't like. But yeah, you know, there'll be like an initial idea and be like, no, I don't like that, I like that, so let's work on that. It's yeah, for sure.
It's a long process. A long, horrible process.
We're not streamlined it yet. But
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Long process.
Yeah. 3 years to write 11 songs. But yeah, we're getting in the swing, so I think the next one will be much quicker. But I feel like when we're actually all together, it happens really quickly. But as we're saying, with us all having jobs, and you know, if you've got one night a week in a rehearsal room and it's 6 till 9, and you're under pressure to write a load of songs, coming from work into, for lack of a better word, a bit of a shithole in Homerton, and trying to like muster up some creative urge to write music is really difficult. And I'm sure loads of bands at this level have that problem. So yeah, it definitely requires us to like remove ourselves from that kind of situation, and then stuff happens really quickly when you're kind of out of it and in, you know, the zone of it. So yeah, we just need to do that.
What can you do to muster that creative urge? Like if you really are in that space where you've got a shit day at work and you can't be fucked, what can you do to sort of get yourself in
Sometimes
the
the
zone?
idea does that for us. Like, so if someone brings in something, like sometimes like, you know, it will just click, and we'll be able to go through the process of, you know, fleshing out a song like really easily, just because it's, you know, it's just a really easy idea to work through. Other times, you know, if we're writing songs, like, you know, it might be, it would be more time consuming and like a bit more effort, because I suppose we'll have to approach it in a different way, or, you know, not that, you know, the initial idea isn't as good. It's just, it requires a different, you know, way of writing it. But I mean, yeah, it's really hit and miss, really. You know, some songs come together really quickly. Some songs do take forever, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, some of them end up being like the best ones.
What song challenged you most on the album? What song was the most the antithesis of that, where it sparked immediately what wanted the most work to kind of push through?
Well, I think actually probably slowly separate, because we had the big mid-late section was just blank for ages, and we kind of knew. I think I knew that was probably the biggest like hitter on the album for me anyway. And then I think you guys I think maybe you, Jet, even came up with that mid-late section, kind of out of nowhere, and we'd been trying it for ages. And so
We had that song for ages without a chorus, and without kind of it was like the first 2 minutes, or, you know, the first kind of minute or whatever, and it took a while to kind of like figure out where that song goes at the end, just because, I mean, I don't know, like we knew that, like, you know, it needed to develop, like it needed, you know, intensity at the end, it needed kind of like an additional hook or whatever. And usually when we kind of like try and do, I don't know, like if we need to do like, you know, additional melodies and stuff, like James and I will sit down and kind of try and work through that, because he'll have like a huge like page of lyrics or whatever, and you know, we'll just kind of pick on things that fit. So that took a little bit of time.
How did Sad Life compare to that? Because I know that was written on the day that Daniel Johnson died. Was that one that very much came out in one splurge, or?
Yeah, the lyrics wise, yeah. I wrote it as a poem, and then when we were writing that song, I just fit the poem straight into melody, and it fit. I didn't have to change it at all. It was like,
I think the music for that song also was really quick.
yeah, it was.
just
Wasn't it?
started
That
just
came out
messing
pretty quick.
around with doing the kind of tremolo style picking and just making noise, and then you two just started joining in as well. Actually, no, that song was the one that was
I swear that
completely
had a
different,
few-
wasn't it? We tried approaching that a couple of times.
That had a few. different
We had
forms, 'cause it was that riff.
we had we had a basis of a song there, and we kind of had like almost like 3 different versions, and then that's the way that we settled on working on it.
We
in that
tried to
way.
make it more upbeat, didn't we? But it didn't really.
Yeah,
They didn't really fly. It sounded whack.
Yeah, we were like, we should just slow this down and yeah, make it try and make it sound really like wide and vast and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that we were wrong. It didn't come out immediately. Like, it took a little bit of time.
Thinking about it now, this is the
Actually.
problem because we wrote these songs so long ago.
Yeah, I mean, your connection to my connection personally to the material is like so different now than when we first wrote it, because obviously we actually wrote the album pretty quickly. Like we came off tour, we got made an effort to like go into the studio quite a lot. Wrote the album in the space of like a couple of months, and then went into the studio during just after Christmas time. And then we've been sat on this material for all of COVID. So like my connection to the album then, that kind of like new excitement and stuff like that, like you have that. So like listening back to, I didn't actually listen to the record for fucking ages before we started playing it again. So like the connection is definitely different. So, leading back to your previous question, I suppose before, like it's a bit more, I suppose like it's, you do feel different about the material. But then when you see people reacting to it and talk to people who the material's had an impact on, that kind of, that's obviously quite like encouraging and motivating, for sure. But I think we would write completely different music maybe now, but.
We'll see. Another 3.
Was it frustrating to sound it for that long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kept you going?
Don't know. Just the fact that we knew it was going to come out at some point. And like when it finally would come out, people would hopefully still be interested, and it would go down really well. And thankfully it has. Thanks, fuck. Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.